Welcome to the third season of the Nidd's Whitelist server.
Following on from the last video, Mia built a marvellous structure down at the base of New Vegas, a parking space for the space, but he thought it looked untidy on the floor, and it was prone to sort of glitching through the rock a little bit. So a nice piece of parking as well, I thought. Now, unfortunately, what happened next was, well, unfortunate. Spider-Man came for a visit and he brought his space taxi with him, and he connected his space taxi, and it was at the time where the connector problem was just starting to really manifest itself, and we had the most spectacular catastrophe. Spider-Man's ship glitched and rubber banded. It dropped 270 blocks down to the floor, then bounced back up, hit the platform. It split the New Vegas platform in two, and the shards of platform fell out of the sky, hit the space butt, and knocked the space butt off its stand. The space butt then split in two and glitched on its on the stand that Mia had built for it. So it was all rather messy. Poor Spider-Man, his ship just disintegrated. It exploded and spread blocks in a 750 meter radius debris zone. So yeah, unfortunately this is the last picture that I have of the space butt in one piece. So taking up from there now, I've got a recording of me trying to pick up the space butt and put it somewhere safe, and meanwhile I've got the remainder of the session that I recorded for episode 60, which was just an audio track that I have for you, so I'm going to play that over here. So what you're seeing is a little later than what you're hearing. Oh, but it was so funny, it'd be a shame not to share that with you. So onwards with the video. Just a quickie. There's a lighting glitch, as you can see, which actually is really useful because it's handy for being able to spot debris on the planet's surface. Because anything that isn't rock shows up as like a black thing as soon as you've got lights in the area. So I'm planning on going on a bit of a scouting mission. With this thing, because the lights on this thing are a little bit over dramatic as well, and especially with this lighting glitch. But for the moment I'm just going to get it out the way, because I'm about to try something that has the potential to be absolutely catastrophic, and in the event of catastrophe it would be nice to have a drilling ship left. So I just took this safely at a good distance. If we get to the other side over here, that should be a good enough distance. Just got to stay out of range of any debris field. We should be fairly safe there. So what I'm about to do is to try and stabilize the space butt. I've fitted some temporary thrusters onto the space butt. Wow, look at the difference now. So there's 4 large thrusters, and I've joined them really, really weakly. The idea behind that is if it does get catastrophic, the thrusters should break off easily and should remain intact so I can salvage them easier. A large reactor, because I certainly don't want to be struggling for power, and just a gyroscope, and round the front there's also a cockpit. So that's everything we need for this thing to actually work. But let's check this is empty. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Do your grandparents know English? I know you said your grandmother knew a bit, but are you just sitting in their house speaking a different language to people on the internet?
Basically, my grandfather once knew English, and that's once he knew English as
He
in
knew
past
of it.
tense.
Yeah.
There was something like that, yeah. He currently understands me just as well as he understands the weird Turkish woman in the bakery he visits daily, which is not at all. Even though she speaks perfectly fine German, he just doesn't understand her because she's wearing something on her head.
I see.
He's a bit rude sometimes. And at other times he's weirdly sexist. He tried to start a relationship with one of the cashiers at one of the local supermarkets. It was embarrassing. He's like 90 and he's flirting with that cashier girl.
He's old enough now where that's all right.
It's not alright. I was with him. It was disturbing.
I would just like to point out, I'm playing Rocket League right now, and there's a guy here whose name is Didgeridoo. Just sort of like add that in.
So he's obviously from Australia.
This is the Australian server, so I'm assuming.
No, only
It's not like anyone else comes on here.
Oh, I just reminded myself, the creepy voice in Discord I loaded to YouTube if anyone didn't get it from Skype.
Yeah, I didn't get it. By the time I got back from home, it was gone.
I
Let
think
me
I know
get
what
it.
that is. I think it's music from my headphones.
Ah, that's what I suggested to Minty it might be, was someone having a video or something playing in the background. I shall put a link to it in chat.
Yesterday I was trying to help Apple fix his server. His weird Minecraft whatever server.
Yeah.
He does one of those weird things which I don't understand. Basically, he unfortunately has the trouble that his IP is a dynamic one that keeps constantly on changing. And, well, at one point his Java updated, and then people could connect again with the new IP. And so I asked him to look up his IP again, and to give it to me, and he still couldn't join with the new one that we then picked up. And then I loaded it in, and it loaded just perfectly fine, and then I told him to check again, and suddenly it worked. That wasn't a very interesting story, but I ran out of ideas, and I don't want to bother my grandparents more. Also,
Boris,
one of them just gave me a cryptic message. Says, wake me in 1 hour. I'm afraid they'll die.
I'm just reading Boris's comments, and I must admit I never expected to hear the words "lady lump compartments" coming out of Boris.
What comments are you reading right now?
Boris put a long and uncharacteristically serious comment, to quote him, on one of my videos.
Oh.
And it's a whole essay. But it includes the fact that spacesuits don't have specially crafted lady lump compartments.
That's awesome.
Basically, I had half an hour and then I
Yeah, actually, that's a rant that I've had in the past where there's I don't know, it's every freaking space game that's ever made, the woman's armor, has boob holes basically.
What?
Well, not holes. But...
Well, they have there's boob
What
compartments.
games were you playing?
I meant compartments for them, and then they're sculpted on the outside. or whatever.
Inbuilt bras, I think, is another way of looking at it.
Yeah, built-in
Yeah.
bras. There you go. Which
Figure
is
hugging suit
completely
with
impractical.
inbuilt. Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
There would be no such thing. Like if you look at any military in the world that has allowed women to join their military ranks, the only way
They
you can
just
tell
cut
the
off
difference
the
between
lady
men and
boys.
women is by their faces that you can see through
Yeah.
their helmets, right? Like the armor is identical. But whatever. It's funny how games decide they have to show the boob outline.
When you refer to you, Boris, were you talking to me or were you talking to Duchess? Because you've commented
know.
on my video. I suppose
I think
it probably
it was just to both.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
use.
Jesus, Council Christ, I just found that comment.
I'm still only halfway through reading it.
You've had the past 12 hours for this. It's not that long.
I've only just spotted it. I just came out of game because I thought I'd best start, because if my next thing was to go off on an adventure, I thought I haven't really got time, so I just started poking around things in general, and I came across this.
It wasn't intended to have an audience.
That's all right. I'll probably, as typical, I'll answer it with a half a sentence.
Or try and do it in one word, like just respond with right.
Yeah.
You write the novel and you just respond with right.
I'll reply with
No, go with one step further, just K, just the letter K.
Okay.
That's even better.
Also, who remembers the old roller coaster tycoon? Roller coaster tycoon, however you pronounce it.
Oh, Tycoon.
Yeah, I know the game, but I never got to play it because the only version I had was a very scratched PS1 disc, and it got to the menu but never any further. So I know the menu of that game. Is that
It's
helpful?
brilliant. Partially. Apparently, I read that there's now a multiplayer mode for it. Somebody modded that in. As in, you can build your theme park together and kill people. Probably.
Does that mean we're starting a theme park?
Oh, well, on the meme.
Ooh.
I was talking to the others, Mia, just before you came back again, saying about how we're building tourist attractions on the mean, because it is a bit grey, apart from the nice bit where we've built with all the white and the blue. And the
We have
thought
something
train...
built in white and blue.
What? Yeah, the ice.
Oh, that
We're at the
ice
pole.
bit, blue bit.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought you meant like Nidd blue.
No,
Ugh. I was confused.
it clashed with the purple, of which there's a lot.
You know what? Not enough yet. You can't build a theme park there.
No, down on the ground. You know, for like the thought train. We were talking about using the road mod for the thought train to run on, and we were
So
talking.
you're going to build a kiddie thought train too that's going to run around the tower, or what?
No, you need it to. I've been looking for a tourist attraction sort of out there on the planet, but I've not found one at the moment. It's all just grey craters. But Anubis was talking about wanting to build a racetrack for rovers, and I thought we've got the perfect setup for that.
Actually,
Well,
we do.
On the planet, I was thinking of like birds, right? Like flying birds through them. But yeah, a racetrack for rovers would be fun too.
Yeah, and we can do racetracks.
That
for
we could do that
flying
on the
things
mean,
too.
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, flying things on birth and a racetrack for rovers on the mean.
I think both sounds better.
No, actually, you just use planet and make bonnet out of it.
Bonnet.
Head down to the bonnet.
I like that.
Now, it has to sound better in conversation. Like, head down to the bonnet doesn't work quite right. We need to, like, head down to the...
Borth.
The Borth.
Sounds like you're barfing.
I've answered your comment,
I was thinking uterus and then making it the bordivis, but I don't know, it doesn't work either.
Also, didn't you think Minty would be slightly salty if you don't,
Maybe we should call it Salty. The name of the planet is Salty.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because everybody on the planet gets pissed off eventually. Planet Salty.
Why is there a picture called Bird with Arms 14 in the new messages thing?
Minty's birds with arms. And a whole bunch of pictures of people with cats.
I admit, I'm jealous of the third picture sweater. Or the cat, I'm not sure.
So is that how we should picture you now, man?
No. I prefer the cold, faceless robot. Yeah. Maybe put that cold, faceless robot in a sweater. No, that's gross.
I like the two guys in the polar necks with the tashas and the glasses of wine and the Ugg boots. Why were they there?
I don't remember. I wasn't there for that.
This was Minty, when he gets on a roll of things that he talks about, he likes to illustrate his point. So that was a long discussion about whatever that was. It started with dogs who got into trouble but acted as if they weren't.
Yeah.
There's a link further up for that.
Uh-huh.
And it ended with cats being in trouble, but just don't caring about it because the trouble is just people in horrible clothing.
I can't remember. This is one of the discussions we had at about 3 in the morning.
Your 3 in the morning or mine?
Yes.
Good.
When Anubis doesn't tell us to go to bed. If Anubis doesn't leave... If Anubis... Oops, sorry, I'm try-harding. If Anubis doesn't leave, then we stay awake forever.
Oh.
He's our time.
So, why is Anubis still here then? She's just asking. I mean, it's kinda... How late is it for you already?
Who?
Oh,
Anubis.
Anubis is...
No, Minty. No,
It's like 8:40? 1:40?
8:40? Oh, 1:40. I'm confused.
8:40 for Anubis. And
In the morning.
1:40 the next day for me.
Oh, and Anubis, you're muted again. He's been experimenting with his mute to talk button, which has sometimes not quite gone as he planned.
It works a lot
How
better.
long have I been muted for?
I don't know. I haven't
Brilliant.
heard from you in 5 minutes, I believe.
Oh, God.
Oh, I just accidentally recorded that. Brilliant.
No.
Did you also record the part about my
Amir,
grandparents?
can you
I
like,
probably-
jump across the internet lines again, invade Sal's computer and delete that file?
Sal, could you please leave your computer on? Also leave the folder open where you have that.
I haven't got action running. I'd need to set action running because you can't. Can you? You can't remote in unless I've actually logged into the remote in thing. Can you?
You see, the problem is I'm currently wiggling my eyebrows, but... On another note, you know what's mildly disturbing? Right behind my laptop, there's a calendar in which a small child is wearing an oversized costume of Nemo, the fish. And it's staring at me, and it's slightly unsettling. I'm going to post pictures soon. Yeah, the child's a chameleon, I believe. I don't know.
I bet
No,
they're
actually,
they're not your baby photographs, are they? Your grandparents have got photographs of you stuck up in your fancy dress costumes
from... Still be a calendar. What's the background when I was born? There wasn't something like Nemo going around.
Oh, okay.
Right? Gotcha.
I was just thinking, because grandparents do that kind of thing. They take photographs and turn them into calendars.
No, not mine. They don't know how to do that.
Oh, I'm not talking about the technology. It's just like you get a little calendar
they just
book
glue it.
Glue it to the bottom. Yeah. That's how my grandparents did it.
No. Your grandparents are insane. I mean, that looks horrible. Why would you do that?
So they had an excuse to put baby photographs of all their grandchildren up on the wall.
I wouldn't recommend that. I visited a friend once who had baby photographs in a big pinboard right next to their front door, and apparently their mother had a thing for taking pictures of their children entirely nude.
I believe that's a German thing, though. Nudity. I learned this.
Stop. Eastern Germany. Don't confuse that. That's from the old German, you know,
GDR.
The DDR, the Germans Worker Republic.
Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to remember where I picked this up about German nude hiking.
Yeah, that is in the... Oh, I don't know where you picked it up. I hope not in East Germany. That was a terrible place in the last few years. Still is, to be honest. We have our capital there, which is, well, gross. I wouldn't recommend visiting it. The worst part is our Chancellor lives in a giant washing machine.
Of course.
There's jokes about money laundering to be had there.
Yes, I see.
I'm not even joking about that.
I love the rat house. I love that's the name of...
Oh, I remember where I picked that up. It was on the game show QI.
Oh, that's just silly. How do you call the little teapot thing? I keep forgetting.
What?
We have like a set number of seconds to Nettenbach.
Oh, yes, that was it. Yeah, Nettenbach. Mm-hmm.
That's not the name of the game show. You failed me.
Well, the game show doesn't really exist.
It should. How many times do I need to say that?
It was a spoof based on Countdown.
Ah, there we go.
Anyway, yeah, I'm going. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye.